we've got news breaking overnight. A federal judge in Florida granting State Attorney General Ashley Moody a temporary restraining order to stop the mass release of migrants into the United States. Customs and Border Protection is calling the order, quote, harmful, and says it will result in overcrowding at CBP facilities. Joining me right now for First on Fox Business interviews, the Florida Attorney General herself, Ashley Moody, is here. AG, great to see you. Thanks very much. Tell us more about this.
Great to see you. Yeah, you remember, Maria, when Florida started calling out the administration right after Biden got elected as they asked for less detention capacity and started mass releasing people into the United States. We sued. They were releasing people saying they had prosecutorial discretion to do that. It wasn't in violation of federal law. We took them to court. A judge said, no, it's in violation of federal law. It directly contradicts your obligation to secure the border, detain these folks, vet them, process them, and they were just mass releasing people into the U.S. Last May, when Title 42 was initially set to expire, Florida uncovered a memo, a secret memo that was issued to Border Patrol saying, when we get overrun, when Title 42 expires, your direction is open the gates, let them in. No processing, wow. No vetting, no court date. And this was a year ago. They had a year. Now, everyone's saying, and the Biden White House is saying, look, Republicans, Democrats alike have historically mass released people into the U.S. That is a lie. That is a fabrication. The judge said in his order, you caused this crisis. Biden, you did this. Your policies have reducing detention capacity, mass releasing up to this point. You have caused this. You cannot say this crisis is for any other reason but for your policies, and you must follow the law. And I am telling you, Maria, no U.S. president in history will go down as being weaker, more incompetent, more of a threat to our security of this nation and our border security structures. Biden will be the kryptonite of America, and it is playing out right now.
It's just incredible. But why? Why is he having this dereliction of duty when it comes to the border?
If you look at the methodical breakdown over the last 2 years by this administration, there is no other conclusion than to say it is intentional. They can throw their hands up, claim it's a crisis, blame Trump, blame Congress. The federal judge agreed. It is their doing. And let me just say, if they blame anyone other than themselves or say they're scrambling to try and address this crisis that they've created, let me tell you who's scrambling. Border Patrol is scrambling. The good men and women who signed up to protect this country are scrambling because we have an administration who all along was disorganized, chaotic, intentionally wanted to open up the borders and undermine the security. So while the good people of this country are scrambling to protect it, this administration, Biden and his overseers that have schemed and devised this plan all along, are sitting back and watching this incredibly dangerous plan unfold. They're not scrambling. They're watching it come to fruition.
Just incredible. What has been the impact on Florida? I mean, you have been among the strongest when it comes to protecting Floridians from illegal immigration. Tell me what you've seen on the ground in Florida as a result of this wide open border.
Great question. And again, this impacts Florida like it will every state in the nation. The numbers that they have mass released into our country illegally will overpass some populations of entire states. So what will these states feel? The same things that we'll feel in Florida. The cost to law-abiding taxpayers in our education system, our healthcare system, our criminal justice system. Remember, Maria, I was one of the first to bring suit when we realized that Biden and his administration stopped deporting those here illegally that were committing crimes against our citizens. These are all felt by the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens in our states. And thanks to this administration and thanks to what they have done over the last 2 years, the country is going to feel it like it's never felt it before. It's historic. The Border Patrol chief himself said in his 30 years he has never seen a president or an administration issue a memo like the one that they have devised for this, which is stand back, let them in.
So this AG, this temporary restraining order to stop this mass release of migrants, where are these people going? I mean, what is the impact of this short term? And obviously, there's got to be something that happens longer term. How long will this be in place?
So, well, federal law, as you know, requires that when folks come to our country, when they're encountered, they have to be processed, they have to be vetted. We have to determine whether there's a valid legal basis for them to be here. And it is on the administration to do that. So the temporary injunction says, hey, we told you in March it was illegal to just stand back, let people out, mass release people into the U.S. Biden, get it together. Send down FEMA, send down the Army, send down whoever you have to do. But you have to process and vet these people. As you know, we have traffickers flooding the border. We have those that have had previous homicide offenses. We have those that are smuggling people. We have fentanyl killing the working age population of our country. So this is the responsibility of this administration to follow the law, to marshal the resources. And let me just say, if anybody has been watching and paying attention to the last 2 years, the cartels are loving this. They're fat cats. They're giggling to themselves as Biden has facilitated and orchestrated an entire infrastructure for them to do their business. The cartels are eating Biden's lunch. And if anybody has been paying attention, it is obvious right now as Title 42 expires.
I mean, I think they're taking home billions and billions of dollars on human smuggling and the drug trafficking. But AG, there's also communist China. Chinese nationals are also breaching the border, and the number of Chinese nationals are up 1,000.1%. I'm told by the border agents that it's all engineers coming in. I'm questioning this because this is so out of the way to come through the southern border, and yet they are. Why?
Well, you point this out, and I think it's a great point to make. The countries and the populations that are entering into the U.S. right now, unvetted, it's not just from South America or Central America. We're seeing those coming in from all over the world, including those from countries that we know have taken action to undermine our nation's interests and security. We know people have crossed that are on the terrorist watch list. I mean, they are absolutely right. And that is why when I say that this will go down as one of the most incompetent, weak presidents, I have no doubt one day America will look back on this and regret this administration ever got in office.
Well, Ashley, we're looking at these pictures. They're absolutely stunning. When you actually look at what's taking place right now in Brownsville. Joe Borelli is with me this morning. Joe, jump in.
Yeah, look, a lot of our big cities, New York being one of them, San Francisco, et cetera, are sanctuary cities. To my knowledge, there's none in Florida. But can you, Attorney General, describe sort of the cooperation, if there is any, between some local and county and state law enforcement and ICE when there are these ICE detainers? Have they been cooperative, or are they sort of, trying to slow walk some of these processes?
In Florida, we have banned sanctuary cities. A court just upheld that. We fought to defend that law. Florida ensures that our laws are followed. And let me just say, we are doing everything we can, including we have a grand jury right now determining who is facilitating and assisting these transnational criminal organizations into smuggling and trafficking children. We've already seen that the Biden administration has put people that these kids don't even know. Some of them have been assaulted sexually. Some of them have been sent to locations like strip clubs. In Florida, we make it very clear we are concerned with the stability of our state, with making sure that law and order is followed. And, our law enforcement want to do their jobs. They want to hand over people that are in our state, many that are here illegally committing crimes. The trick is getting ICE to do their jobs, to take these folks and actually detain and deport them, which is why we took Biden to court in his first month in office, because they weren't doing that.
Well, you're living by the letter of the law, okay? And you are making sure that the law is upheld. Another reason that you've attracted $57.9 billion in adjusted gross income from 699,000 new residents in 2020 who moved to Florida from all of these cities that are watching crime spike and laws broken. AG, it's good to see you. Thanks very much. We'll keep a spotlight on it and talk with you soon. Thank you so much. Ashley Moody joining us this morning in Florida.